Greetings Zombie Slayers, Sleepy Jim here, welcome back to my solo high round strategy guide for the map Origins on Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now if you remember in the last episode at the end there, we got the second piece for the wind staff from the robot that came through the top end here. And there's only one last part we need for the wind staff, which will be in the robot that goes through the spawn area of the map. So we'll have to head down there and hope we get lucky again with that guy coming through. And that can be one of those things that is a bit time consuming and frustrating in this map, getting all those parts for the wind stuff. We also need another part also for the ice staff, which both of those, the wind staff and the ice staff, are the best staffs for really high rounds, and the staffs that we're going to make into the ultimate versions a little bit later on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch the tank down to the spawn area tank station, because I do have a last path for the lightning stuff as well. And to get to that, I need to catch the tank right back up to the church area again. So the other reason I'm coming down here is because we might get lucky and get that robot coming through the bottom area once we get down there. So you can see that robot is coming through, but I'm not going to get there in time, unfortunately, because it's going to move through too quickly for me. So yeah, it is a bit of luck in terms of the timing of these robots coming through the particular area that you want them at, as well as whether or not they have that glowing disc in their foot that you can shoot out to get teleported to their head. And you can see there, I just missed this guy, just missed this robot, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do now is hit the box and see if we can get anything. I've only got enough points for one hit at the box. Ultimately, what you really want to get in this map is the ray gun. Either the Mark II ray gun or the regular ray gun. And because this map is actually pretty awesome with Flopper, especially for some of the close quarters stuff you've got to do in a crazy place in order to get the ultimate staffs and things like that. So the regular ray gun, especially if you hit the box earlier when you don't have too many points, you seem to have a higher chance of getting that. But it's not too hard to get actually in this map. Whereas the Mark II ray gun obviously you have a lot less chance of getting that. You really have to try and get the Mark II ray gun, because it seems that they've decreased the chance of you getting it out of the box in terms of its power and ability to kill zombies in higher rounds. And also it doesn't have the splash damage either, like the original ray gun, because it kind of fires laser rays or laser rounds. I don't know what you'd call them exactly, but with this zombie hassling me here, unfortunately, and we don't get the next part for the lightning stuff. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need to build the lightning stuff playing solo anyway. That is as well, if you use it in the really high rounds, like past round 80, using the lightning stuff can cause your game to crash as well and get the G-spawn error that you may have seen people get on really high rounds sometimes in Black Ops and Black Ops 2. The other thing that I'll mention in relation to that is that even though it's a really good perk, Electric Cherry can do the same thing because of the amount of animations and whatnot that it does. It can cause the game to crash in the really high rounds if you have Electric Cherry. So just keep that in mind if you want Cherry, because you run the risk of getting that G-spawn error. So yeah, we're down here, we're waiting for the giant robot. I might actually fast forward some of this waiting around, guys, because it is pretty goddamn boring. Now, I did make a crawler here just because this guy was hassling me and I got annoyed with him, but if you do that, just be aware that this zombie is going to die as soon as you move out of its location, and it has to respawn. It will just die, basically, and the round will restart. So if you want to do a lot of this stuff really early, you do have to kind of keep a unharmed regular zombie. Now, the robot did come, but as you can see, unfortunately, the thing was on the other foot. The light or hatch or whatever you want to call that thing, that was on the other foot. So that's part of the frustrating, annoying, random chance involved in getting the parts for the wind staff generator until it stops being active. So you have to go and defend it if you really want to keep all 6 generators functioning. But at the same time, if you're nearby, it's usually not too hard to defend the generators. And if you do defend the generators before they can deactivate it, you will also get a max ammo, which is pretty handy sometimes as well. In this case, I am running a little bit late, but I do manage to take it as in turn and deactivating all of them. Here's a really bad situation here. I hadn't unlocked this door and I didn't quite have enough points, but we managed to just get enough points going. I cancelled my reload, which is just as well, because if I hadn't cancelled that reload animation, they would have downed me right there. So we just managed to get... Now, still looking for parts for the ice staff. We get the last one here, which is awesome. But here we also... The shovel has turned gold, and what that allows us to do is to dig up free perk slots during zombie blood mode if we can locate them. So we're going to get to that a little bit later and show you how that works as well. So I'm just looking around at this point, and we're going to try and get some headshots going. So this gun's pretty good for getting the headshots. Those graves or piles of dirt, to try and search those and get... And most of them are all kind of quest based, and you're running around doing objectives rather than just killing. Pretty time consuming. Like I said before, just to get to around 30 and want to get done, like how many of the stuffs you feel you want to build and stuff like that in this map and that. And whereas in the old maps, like in Black Ops, in Ascension, you could get to around 30 in an hour. That's how quick those maps were, and they were still really awesome maps, and but they didn't go crazy overboard like they did in these Black Ops 2 maps with Call of Duty. I don't think they'll call it Black Ops 3, it'll probably be the next Call of Duty after Ghosts. So we're probably looking at a couple of years maybe down the track. Although it would be good if they introduced a standalone zombies game. I know a lot of people talked about that prior to Black Ops 2. So, you know, it seems like a logical thing for them to do with the popularity of zombies, the amount of work they put into zombies, and that, you know, prior to the next track. Back down here, guys. Back down here, because we got to wait for that goddamn robot. Down here in the starting area. And actually, what I'm going to do while I'm down here is I'm going to head down into the crazy place. We're going to place this gramophone down because we actually have all the parts for the fire stuff. This is actually a really cool stuff. It's just not that great in the really high rounds, but it's pretty decent in the earlier rounds. And this was my favorite stuff when I... Okay, so I can see the robots coming now. So I'm just trying to work out... That's the robot through the center of the map, actually. So I'm just going to turn on this teleporter here while we're waiting around and try and get Vise up. Eye slit, whatever the hell it is. That's pretty much the first thing you can see of the robots in the distance as they come through. But we'll go back down the tunnel here for the fire stuff and head into the crazy place here. We've got the portal formed here. Basically, if you pick up this crystal here, you need one of these for each stuff that you build to impress your friends or whatever you want to do. This is definitely the easiest, laziest way you can get to a fairly high round in this map, into any of these tunnels and entering Agartha here, or the crazy place, and then just don't pick up the crystal. All you have to do, you got this huge wide open area in front of the farm, area of transit, including the Ascension lander. This area is just super. A couple of things to remember. Well, first of all, let's just mention that there's 2 wall weapons in here. So you can actually buy ammo in here and stay in here indefinitely. Plus you get drops in here as well, like max ammos and whatnot, and stuff like that. You can launch the Maxis drone as well if you feel you need to. So you can stay down here pretty much as long as you want until bullets stop working or whatever weapon you've done Mark II. You can actually stay down here till probably about around 60, 65. See, the ceiling has fallen down, and these big walls of stone will actually lift and then come down again in different patterns, which can get you blocked off if you're not careful down here. So once you pick up that crystal, you can't stay down here and train in that middle area as easily any longer. So you either sacrifice the ability to make the staffs and just hang out down there and train, which is a legitimate strategy for the mid to high-ish rounds, but it's not really a legitimate workable strategy for... Go and do that. You'll get to a pretty high round, but the strategy I'm showing you will allow you to go pretty much as far as this map will allow you. Okay, now we're going to build the fire staff. So we've picked up that crystal. That was the very last part after we picked up the 3 parts for the staff. We're going to pack a punch the Mauser here as well. And this is such an awesome gun, guys. It doesn't have a lot of ammo. Like it's got an amazing amount of damage in these little laser things that it shoots. And I haven't actually tested this too much in the really high rounds in terms of effectiveness, but I think it's going to be at least equivalent to the Ray Gun Mark II in terms of damage to zombies. Panzer Soldat, armored zombie, really fast and easy. So he's just around here because we're in zombie blood mode. He's kind of glitched out there. He's confused the Broomhilda. And we're looking around. Remember, we've got the gold helmet does, guys. If you dig up enough of those little grave things with the shovel above or next to your points area, and that means you can get stepped on by the giant robot without dying, which is awesome. Now, I was, when I first played this map, thinking about whether I could use that ability to get the train of zombies stepped on by the robot to kill them. I survive, and that way I could get through the high rounds. But I've tested that out, guys, and it seems as if zombies seem to have that ability to withstand the giant stomp also. So if you take a big horde of zombies and try and get them stomped on by the giant robot with that golden helmet on, although you won't die yourself from the robot stomp, what will usually happen is you'll get swamped by all the zombies who only get stunned, and then they'll get up and they'll take you down pretty quick. So it's really dangerous to try and do that. I would recommend, even if you have the golden helmet, you probably want to avoid still getting stomped on by the giant robot. It's kind of only an insurance policy, in my opinion, and problems there. So I couldn't get back around quick enough, otherwise we would have got in and got that final part for win stuff. So that kind of sucked. But never mind, we'll definitely get that in a little bit. I'll try and thin out these zombies so there's only 1 or 2 left. You have to be careful though, because it's very easy to damage them with the penetration, the collateral damage. So what I do is I kind of angle, so like I'm doing here, so I don't penetrate the zombies and get the ones at the back. Otherwise they'll die as soon as they respawn. And remember, we have the golden shovel as well, guys. So every time I see the zombie blood, I'm running around the map so that I can try and slot as well.
Dark days are coming, Dempsey. The doctor's works threaten the future of the whole world.
So yeah, unfortunately we didn't find any in this bit of a run through the map, but the key thing to remember with looking for those red glowing graves, they will always be like, they will always spawn in a random location one at a time. So once you find the first location, it will until you find it, and then it will respawn somewhere else. And even if you go through multiple zombie bloods stuff, so that's going to be like a backup for if we really get desperate on ammo later on. We'll be able to come down and pick that up.
Mr.